The woman everyone in the restaurant laughed at turned out to be the one person who would decide my future. If I had known who she really was, I probably wouldn't believe it myself. But this story taught me that you should never judge anyone by the moment you meet them. Until it happened to me. It was an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. I had just left my office for lunch after spending the entire morning buried in paperwork. There was a small restaurant a few blocks away that I visited almost every week. I ordered my meal, sat near the window, and was about to take my first bite when loud voices interrupted the peaceful atmosphere. Everyone turned to look. An elderly woman, probably in her mid-50s, stood at the cashier looking completely embarrassed. "I don't understand," she kept saying. "My bank card was in my purse when I left home." The waiter looked impatient. The manager was even worse. "Madam, if you can't pay, you can't leave." The woman searched through her handbag over and over again, but the card was nowhere to be found. "I must have dropped it somewhere," she whispered. Then she offered an idea. "Please keep my phone. I'll go home, get another card, and come back immediately." The manager folded his arms. "No, we've heard that excuse before." People at nearby tables began whispering. The woman's eyes filled with tears. She looked completely helpless. Without thinking twice, I stood up. "I'll pay for her lunch." The restaurant became silent. The manager looked surprised. "So you'll cover the bill?" "Yes." He handed me the receipt, and I paid. The woman turned toward me, unable to speak for a few seconds. Finally, she managed a smile. "Thank you. You have no idea what this means to me." She asked me to write down my bank details so she could refund me. I smiled. "Please don't worry about it." She insisted on at least knowing my name. "My name is Ivy Joseph." She stretched out her hand. "I'm Mrs. Wilson." We exchanged a few words before she thanked me once again and left. I never expected to see her again. Life went on. 3 months later, my company assigned me the biggest project of my career, a multi-million-dollar contract. Winning it would place our company among the industry's best. Losing it could cost several of us our jobs. The pressure was enormous. For 3 months, I barely had a social life. I researched every detail, practiced my presentation countless times, reviewed every possible question the board might ask. Failure wasn't an option. Finally, the big day arrived. As I walked into the conference room at one of the largest companies in the city, my confidence suddenly disappeared. Seated at the center of the executive panel was Mrs. Wilson, the same woman whose lunch I had paid for. She recognized me immediately, but remained completely professional. She simply smiled and nodded. I gave the presentation of my life. Every statistic, every projection, every answer. I left everything on that stage. When I finished, the executives thanked me and asked me to wait outside. Those 20 minutes felt like 20 years. Then the secretary walked toward me. "Mrs. Wilson would like to see you." My heart started racing. Had I made a mistake? I walked into her office. She stood up with a warm smile. "Congratulations, Ivy." I blinked. She continued. "When I saw your name on today's schedule, I immediately remembered the young woman who helped a complete stranger without expecting anything in return." I smiled. Then she added something I'll never forget. "But let me be clear. You didn't win it only because you paid for my lunch. You won it because your presentation was outstanding." She paused. "Your kindness made me remember you. Your professionalism convinced me to trust your company." I couldn't hold back my tears. The fear I'd carried for months disappeared in an instant. She reached across the desk and shook my hand. "The contract is yours." When I walked out of that building, I looked up at the sky and smiled. That day reminded me of something I'll never forget. Kindness may not always change your life overnight, but people never forget how you made them feel. And sometimes, the smallest act of kindness opens the biggest doors when you least expect it.